Energy. Good morning, Minister. On Saturday, hundreds of people protested your office. They are angry and fed up with increased hydro rates caused by poor government decisions by yourself and others over there. But the straw that broke the camel's back was quite simply when the Minister of Energy compared the cancellation of the Oakville and Mississauga gas plants as merely a, quote, cup of coffee. As one protester put it, and I'll quote, "It's not just a cup of coffee, it's one of our most basic monthly bills. I'm just working to pay them." This careless comparison by the minister proves without a shadow of a doubt that the Liberal Party is not sorry for wasting $1.1 billion in the last election. It also proves the Premier only apologized because she got caught. Will the minister stand in his place and apologize for that careless characterization of the gas plants and that $2?
Minister of Energy.
Mr. Speaker, last week the Justice Committee was discussing the costs associated with the relocation of the Oakville gas plant. The relocation costs have been verified by the Auditor General, Mr. Speaker, and I have said, and our party has said, that the relocation costs were unacceptably high. The Chair of the Ontario Power Authority provided information to the committee that the rate-based portion of the Oakville relocation would cost the ratepayer for the 20-year recovery period between $1 and $2 per year, Mr. Speaker. That was from the Chair of the Ontario Power Authority. But I wonder to those 60 or 70 demonstrators who were in front of my constituency office, Mr. Speaker, whether the member for Nepean-Carleton told them what her leader, Tim Hudak, said when asked to increase or lower rates. He said, "I will not do that."
Supplementary.
Well, what the 300-plus protesters told me in front of his office is they can't afford to send any more cups of coffee to Bob Shirelli, Kathleen Wynne, and Dalton McGinty. They told me that they didn't wake up during the 2011 election campaign and say, "Gee, I wish I could buy the Liberals a cup of coffee for the next 20 years. No, Speaker, they told me that they're having a rough time paying their hydro bills because this government needed to win 5 seats in the GTA. In fact, it wasn't just the protesters that were seniors and family members. It was also the small businesses who were there that were telling me they're going to have to lay people off or shut their doors entirely because of this Liberal government's terrible and disastrous decisions. Now, the protest on the weekend is just the beginning. I know we're going to hear more in the next couple of weeks. How does this Liberal government expect to create jobs and retain the ones that we have already got in Ontario if their energy policy is the single biggest factor driving jobs?
Thank you. Sit down, please. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the member didn't tell those 70 or 80 demonstrators the number of mitigation measures we have to reduce the payments on their electricity bills, and she voted against every single one of them. But, Mr. Speaker, with respect to industrial prices, Ontario's industrial rates compare favorably with other jurisdictions, despite what she shouts, Mr. Speaker. Industrial rates in Northern Ontario are among the lowest in Canada, lower than 44 American states. Industrial states in Southern Ontario are lower than in Alberta, Michigan, New Jersey, California, and in line with states like New York, Virginia, and Tennessee. And, Mr. Speaker, they continue to state facts which are totally untrue. Mr. Speaker, they talk about Heinz, Mr. Speaker, leaving because of energy prices, and Heinz actually had their own generation on site, Mr. Speaker. They were not paying for their electricity bill. Mr. Speaker, they've got to come straight with the facts.
Thank you. Final supplementary.
Speaker, the biggest mitigation to making sure that we can control energy costs in this province is by removing that party. It's difficult to trust this government. You look at them every day, they contradict themselves. They contradict the facts with respect to industrial energy pricing. Every major corporation will tell you they're wrong. The Premier herself contradicted herself last week in Gas Plants Committee, including all of the bureaucrats. And this minister here couldn't even tell us last week whether the energy rates that are going up included the canceled gas plants. It's like a bad episode of Hogan's Heroes over there, Speaker. They know not of what they speak. I can tell you one thing, Speaker. In the next 6 months, Ontarians will have a choice. They can continue to choose that party who puts politics over people's energy policy, or they can choose a party, the Progressive Conservative Party under Tim Hudak, who understands that the province of Ontario, knows how to bring the jobs back, who actually has a plan on the floor of the Assembly. Will the minister adopt our plan, say enough is enough, and apologize to the people of this country?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, will the member tell the people, and did she tell those 50 or 60 people in front of my constituency office, that she and her party are going to proceed with a $15 billion investment in new nuclear that will make it the rate skyrocket, Mr. Speaker?
No, she didn't.
And did she tell the people in front of my constituency office that she and her party voted against these programs? The Ontario Clean Energy Benefit, 10% discount off the bottom line. The Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit saves qualifying individuals up to $963 per year with a maximum of $1,097 per year for qualifying seniors. That member and her party voted against those price mitigations that reduce electricity bills, and she should be embarrassed for voting against what's going to help electricity ratepayers, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. New question.